Hi. I wanted to share something that happened when I was in the US recently. I'm in Japan now, and it's about a vision of Zion, the original vision of Zion from Isaiah, and the difference between that and the vision of Zionism as it is currently uh, unfolding and existing in the Middle East. And we see problems with that vision, I think. And the thing is, the original vision of Zion, and this was, I was at Zion National Park with my family, and I was looking at a book that they said Zion, the original vision of Zion is a place of sanctuary and peace. And I was like, sanctuary and peace. Okay, that's a beautiful vision. And I looked up a bit further and I found that Isaiah is the one who put forward the quote, which most people are aware of, that in the future we will transform our weapons into plowshares. That will go from humanity will go from making war to uh, creating peace, and that came from Isaiah and his vision of Zion and the Middle East and Jerusalem and the promised land as being a place where people from all cultures and all religions come together to make peace and to live and study together God's laws. That's Isaiah's vision, which sounds a lot more like, John Lennon's Imagine than what we see there now. And I also thought it's interesting the stories of Muhammad. Now, I'm not I'm neither Jewish or Muslim, so I'm not speaking with any authority here, so I put this out as kind of like something to consider. My ancestors are Jewish. My grandfather, I have one side came from Ukraine, another from Russia. Have ancestors. I actually have relatives now, I think, in Israel. So my my immediate family is on the front lines of a lot of the wars now. But oh, just so getting back to Muhammad, which I'm not Muslim, so I don't have authority on this, but my understanding of why the dome was built um, on the what was Solomon's temple, correct? The reason for that dome being there is that in their tradition, there's a story, and again, I could be wrong, but the story is that Muhammad, after passing away, his spirit or his angel came to Jerusalem and made a kind of speech. And and my understanding also is that there isn't a recorded information of exactly what he said, but he spoke to Adam was there, the first man. Again, this is a mythic story from my perspective, but Jesus was there. I think Abraham and Moses and Muhammad made this speech in at what was Solomon's temple. That's why they built that there. Again, that's my understanding. We don't. I assume that was also a speech of unity and a speech of peace. And so we have these inclusive visions. These inclusive visions. Jesus' thinking was inclusive. Martin Luther King spoke of this a lot, that we need a kind of spiritual beliefs that are inclusive, not exclusive. And that's the problem with Zionism. So, but the original vision of Zionism, of Zion's vision is of peace, world peace, all people coming together and seeing each other as sisters and brothers, children of God, children of the universe. If you don't believe in God, I mean, we're all children of nature, which is symbolized by the tree of life in the Garden of Eden. All right, that's the symbol of life that we're a part of the universe. And I think when you look at Einstein, what things that Einstein said, and why he also embraced Zionism, I think he was leaning more towards Isaiah's vision of Zion and not the present version of Zionism, which is nationalistic and rather colonialistic. It's It's colonialism in a new form, which is what the protesters will tell you that support the people of Gaza. Um, and again, well, I'll just finish up. So the last thing on that. So I was with my family. We're in Zion National Park. And then after that, we traveled into Navajo Nation, and we stayed in Monument Valley and had a wonderful time in the Navajo Nation, which is part of Arizona. But at one point, we stayed in the city of Page, Arizona. And on the Navajo Nation, they don't have access to clean water, most of the people. People don't have flush toilets and they can't do farming. And yet in Page, Arizona, which is actually carved out into they actually took land from the Navajo Nation. They have car washes and all the um, establishments there have running water and toilets and baths and things. And I thought, gosh, this is kind of like what the Israeli settlements are like going into the West Bank. There's a big thing with controlling the water. They control the water there, building settlements, and Page, Arizona is not that different. And what I think we have with Zionism is colonialism, and we have to face that. At the same time, there's the root vision is of world peace and the end of war. You know, we're all sisters and brothers. We're all the children of God. Um, Einstein again, and Martin Luther King, and Mohammed, and Jesus, and Buddha too. I mean, they all were saying a similar thing: children of Abraham, children of God. Anyway, that's my thought for today. What's the difference between the vision of Zion and the current version of Zionism, which is creating a lot of suffering? And maybe it's time to look at that and see the potential in what within Judaism and within Islam too. This potential for peace. We all got to stop killing each other. The wars in Yemen and Syria, it's horrible, and no one even talks about Yemen. You know what's happening in Yemen. The children of Yemen are suffering just like the children of Gaza and Sudan and North Africa. I mean, it's time to end war, and that's what the vision of Zion is about. Anyway, that's my thoughts for today. I'm Chris from Japan and hope this resonates with some people. Thank you. Peace.